Everyone who is anyone in the art world is in this charming Swiss town on the Rhine River this week. It's Art Basel, the true mecca of contemporary art. Guess where I am? It may seem as though I'm somewhere in the countryside, but actually, I'm in the middle of Messeplatz in Basel, Switzerland. And this is not just a patch of grass. It's an art installation by pioneer eco-artist Agnes Denes, who is in her 90s. She originally staged this installation titled Wheatfield, a Confrontation in 1982 in downtown Manhattan. It's recreated here specifically for Art Basel, the Swiss flagship art fair, which opens today to the public. I'm Jane Reeves, your host. Let's go inside and check it out. The 54th edition of the Swiss Fair is headed by new director Maike Cruse, who is from Berlin. 287 galleries from 40 countries exhibit this year. Among them are many international mega galleries such as White Cube, that was Jay Joplin, with works by Mark Bradford, Frank Bowling, Richard Hunt, Parcours, Julie Meritou, which fetched 6.7 million. This is House in Wirth, which presents works by Maria Lasnik, Günter Fork, New Yorker Ronnie Horn's signature glasswork, South African artist William Kentridge. Gagosian showcases the latest sculpture by Carol Bove, a print collage by Jordan Wolfson, gold-plated stainless steel panels, part of Maurizio Catalan's anti-gun violence piece, currently on view in New York. Donald Judd, a wall-mounted sculpture consisting of 10 blocks. At David's Werner, there is one of Kusama's pumpkins, paintings by Alice Neal, Gerhard Richter, which sold for 6 million. Pace, I'll come back to it later. Spruth Makers. Also, there are several prominent New York galleries such as Skarsdad, Dudonna, Aquavella, Gladstone. This is an interesting piece by late American artist Pope L with dripping chocolate. Van de Wey. Always beautiful museum quality booth at Helena Mat, with works by major modernists of the 20th century, Alexander Calder, Pablo Picasso, René Magritte, Joan Miró. Here's a cluster of European galleries. Galeria Elvira Gonzalez from Madrid, Party Gallery from Milan, a pair of German galleries, Karsten Grieve, Michael Haas, Parisian Gallery Minor. This is art collective Claire Fontaine's work Foreigners Everywhere, which is shown at Venice Biennale this year. And this is a completely pink booth of works by Polish artist Maria Pininska-Beresh at the approach. And here's a gallery from London featuring British artists Hazlitt Holland-Hibbert.
So my name is Louis Kasmin. I'm from Hazlitt Holland-Hibbert. We're a modern British art gallery in London. This year at Art Basel, we've brought a selection of paintings and works on paper by Hervin Anderson, Bridget Riley, Paula Rago, Howard Hodgkin and Frank Auerbach. I'm standing in front of a monumental oil called Toccata Green from 2013-2014 by Bridget Riley, along with a selection of works straight from the studio from 1983 called Interactive Colour Studies. Among the other works, a beautiful oil by Hervin Anderson from 1998, as well as paintings by Howard Hodgkin, who recently featured in an exhibition we did in London of Patrick Caulfield, Howard Hodgkin, painter colleagues.
How was the opening?
Opening was very good, very busy. We've enjoyed it greatly. I've got a fantastic team here. We're thrilled to be here again and hope people enjoy our booth.
Several galleries make their debut at Art Basel. Among them is Galeria Mayoral from Spain.
I'm Jordi Mayoral. and the gallery was founded 35 years ago, and we are very specialized in the post-war of Spain. And here we are in Basel for the first time, presenting masterpieces by our artists and our culture. Artists like Antoni Tàpies, Eduardo Chillida, Manolo Millares, Miró, Dalí, Saura, so relevant names of the post-war in Europe, and very delighted to be here showing these artists.
And can you please pinpoint a couple of highlights of your presentation?
Of course. Here we are exhibiting one piece by Antoni Tàpies. He was one relevant Catalan artist and very political one. In this case, you can see the prison and the repression at the end of the Franco dictatorship in Spain. Tàpies was one of the artists that at the same time was a fighter for the democracy and for the human rights. So, of course, we are very, very connected with him, and we are delighted to present a piece like this, a masterpiece by Tàpies in this fair.
And how was the opening?
Was good. Well, we are happy, and you know.
The sales?
Yeah, we close deals, and at the same time working hard to close more. So, and at the same time, honestly, very proud to be here and presenting all of this material.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is a metamatic, or a kinetic sculpture by the Swiss artist Jean Tanguy in the feature section dedicated to historical art presentations by the 20th century artists. And it's already sold for 300,000 euros. You can see more works by this artist in the Museum Tanguy in Basel.
And this is Bank Gallery from Shanghai, which features textile works by Madame Song and Marian Barbanov. That's all for today. On day 2, I'm heading back, as promised, to the Pace Gallery booth. It's perhaps the most Insta-worthy side of the show. Can you please tell me a little bit about your beautiful benches?
Yes, so this is one bench actually by Jean Dubuffet. This bench has been created in 1974 by the artist as part of the Lourloupe series, which is the longest series the artist ever made. So this series lasted for 12 years, as opposed to other series that lasted only 2 years each. And so this is one of his largest and, the monumental work of, I would say, the end of his life, where he started to do these architectures, these mental spaces. And he discovered a way of, having them built for the exterior as well as the interior, as he previously did. He created several projects that are in resonance with this bench, which is called Le Banc-Salon, which is La Closerie Falbala, which is an outdoor garden at Périgny-sur-Yerres, near Paris, which is a gigantic garden in which you can stroll, and then you arrive in his cabinet logologique, which is Jean Dubuffet's place where he kind of thought and created and meditated. The other interesting project from this series of Lourloupe is Coucou Bazar, which is a huge mise en scène that was made in the 70s with a setting with these colors, primary colors, always black, white, blue and red, and that was staged and actually shown recently at Les Arts Décoratifs de Paris.
And what about these clouds?
So the clouds are part of the work as well. Dubuffet has been the initiator of l'art brut. And so it's like floating forms that have no distinct, it's also to the public to project whatever you can see. This is like a floating drawing, the bench and these clouds.
That it's like raised painting, right?
Yes, absolutely. So, we can think of something very automatic, almost surrealistic, when the artist just, has this automatic writing while just being in a conversation with a peer artist and so this is part of this. This is kind of like an automatic writing that he created, and it's very recognizable, actually. It's a very signature of his work. This work was done in 74 and is part of the Fondation Dubuffet collection and is exhibited there. And the foundation released 6 editions. That was the wish of the artist, and this is one of the examples.
So this is like the final edition, right?
Absolutely. All editions are gone now.
And I heard that it's already sold, right?
Yes. All editions sold. Yes. Yes.
And how was the show so far?
I mean, it was quite successful for us. I mean, it is. I hope it will still continue. We still have 2 days on, but yeah, we are pretty happy.
The bench is certainly popular here. Right behind me is the unlimited section where art goes big, like really big. We are talking large-scale installations, massive sculptures, and wall paintings that you won't see in your regular booth. Let's go inside and check it out together. Right upon entering, you see a 1969 installation by Mario Ciroli, a project for peace, presented by Cardi Gallery. It's made of 365 white silk flags. Next to it to the left is Christo's recreated Volkswagen Beetle, priced at $4 million, presented by Gagosian. Life-size cabin hellhole by Alex da Corte symbolizes the unfulfilled American dream of owning a home, but it becomes a cell. I actually remember his much happier piece from 2021 at the Met. A 30-panel long mural by Keith Haring stretches on this wall. It was created in 1984 for the FDR Drive in New York, priced at $22 million. The installations here are so enormous that Giovanni Carmine, curator of the Unlimited, calls it a little town of art. This is Kusama's Pumpkin from David Warner's Gallery in New York. Dominique Fung's painting, A Tale of Ancestral Memories, spans 88 feet, presented by Massimo De Carlo. Infatuation, painting by Ross Bleckner, painted at the height of the AIDS crisis, with his signature stripes and trompe-l'oeil bow. This is one more large-scale painting by Al Held, Julio Leparc's Zeppelin. The freestanding installation The Extended Line by Japanese artist Chiharu Shiota consists of hundreds of kilometers of red rope. It was inspired by her personal experience as a cancer survivor. Next to it is Sam Fall's painting, which measures almost 50 meters in length. These are flowers of Hudson Valley, New York, from spring to fall. Hiroshi Sugimoto's Mount Fuji work, printed on 2 panels, inspired by Japanese folding screens on washi paper. Crecia Mukwage's installation is made of 1,000 salvaged bra straps of sex workers in Zimbabwe. Former fashion designer turned artist Martin Margiela's work Podium, a metal platform covered with synthetic fur. Oedipus Rex by Michel Journac consists of 3 skeletons representing the artist and his parents. Kinetic sculpture combined with video and sound by Mariam Binani. Kader Atia, Intifada, The Endless Rhizomes of Revolution. Computer-generated prints by Samia Halabi from the 1980s, and her later painting in response to them, kind of going backwards a little. Painted bronze sculpture Luminous Light by Swiss artist Ugo Randinone. It looks like a giant lightning bolt or even inverted tree branches. It's presented by his longtime art dealer and former wife, Eva Present-Huber. Salvatore Mangione, or Salvo as he was known, put a new spin on the old masters with this interpretation of the triumph of St. George. Teresa Solar Abboud's work comprises 2 sculptures, a hybrid of organic and industrial forms. Anti-war and anti-racism installation by Henry Taylor, with black leather jackets worn by Black Panthers. This is a work titled Security Fence by American artist Liza Liu, created in 2005 in South Africa, where she worked with Zulu women artisans. The sculpture is crafted from glass beads on steel and razor wire. It reconstructs a prison cell and reflects on the days of apartheid in Africa. This is Mirror Labyrinth by Austrian artist Eva Schlegel. Another large-scale project, The World, A Moment in Time, by Alan McCollum, with 1,200 most popular names from all over the world. Many visitors look for their names, and it took me a while, but I found mine too. Right next to it is Bettina Fusci's sculpture, Vertical Highways. Nathalie de Pasquier, Cose fan tutti. Sebastiana, or Seba Calfuquio, is a trans-indigenous artist from Chile. This installation draws attention to the plight of their people, Mapuche, who have limited access to water due to the water privatization articles enacted during the Pinochet's rule, which are still in effect. Ali Cherie's anti-war installation. Film Birdcage by David Clairbout. Fabric Collage, Threads of Memory by Ulrike Oettinger. Swiss artist Miriam Kahn, a room installation of various works created in response to the genocide during the Balkan Wars. This is a work by another Swiss artist, Reto Pulver, a tent-looking installation made of scraps of fabric which he sews together to create a temporary shelter. Faith Ringgold, The Wake and Resurrection of the Bicentennial Negro. The seminal New York artist just passed away in April at the age of 93. Another American artist, Karen Kalimnik, created this installation based on the 1960s British TV show The Avengers. Steven Prina, an homage to his friend, artist Felix Gonzalez Torres, who died of AIDS. Matt Malikan, 18 Lightbox Prints, Computer Designs for an Imagined City. This is the second film in the docu-series by young Chinese artist Lu Yan. Gary Kuhn, Reflections and Projections. This is an installation by German artist Wolfgang Leib, who is particularly influenced by the Indian philosophy. The centerpiece, Brahmanda, is a cosmic egg made of black Indian granite, which is surrounded by rice mounds. Alicia Kwade, Polish-German artist, Paraposition. Sculpture Errantry by Torkwasi Dyson, American artist who is currently part of the Whitney Biennial. Maria Hasabi Mirrors. Island of the Blessed is a two-part installation by German artist Reinhard Mucha. It's made of 5,000 roof tiles. It's a reflection on the degradation of urban design. Swiss artist Claudia Andujar, Marcados. These are the photos of Yanomami, an indigenous people of the Amazonia. And finally, Dutch artist Mark Manders, installation Rome with all existing words. Right outside of the Unlimited, Art Basel has launched its first brand store. And one for the road, Emilia Isgrove's art truck. And on the last day of the show, I'm heading outside to explore the city and public art. This is a park in front of the Tangley Museum with several sculptures, including Jean Tangle's and his wife, Niki de Sanfal. And this whimsical structure is a fountain by Argentine-Israeli artist Mika Rothenberg, who has a solo exhibition at the museum. My next stop is Parcours. Parcours is a free outdoor public programming of Art Basel. This year there is a new curator, Stephanie Hessler, who is currently director of Swiss Institute in New York. The sector used to be on the other side of the bridge in Old Basel. Now it's much closer to the fair. It runs from the middle bridge to Messeplatz along the shopping street called Klarerstrasse and occupies different sites, including storefronts, galleries, a former monastery, now a museum, an active liquor distillery, a church, hotels, and other places. Out of the 22 presented projects, here are my 7 highlights. Number 1, Rikrit Ravanit, a prominent conceptual Thai artist, has installed a series of flags on Middelbrook, Middle Bridge, with pirate symbols like skull and crossbones, and some more obscure images of seafarers of the past, but also with contemporary elements on them like newspaper prints. The work is presented by a German gallery from Berlin, Neugerim Schneider. On the other side of the bridge, the facade of the former Hotel Marion is adorned with stars by Petrit Halilai, a Kosovar artist. The work titled When the Sun Goes Away, We Paint the Sky is commissioned by Art Basel and UBS. These flags are made by Brazilian trans artist Tadaskia. Light blue, pink and white backgrounds of the flags represent trans colors. Number 4. Austrian artist Louis Weinberger was another pioneer of ecological art, along with Agnes Denes. This work, Portable Garden, started in 1994 with the idea of bringing green space into urban design. Number 5. Malaysian-British artist Manzi El Sayed's new multimedia installation, Body Promise, transforms 2 vacant spaces in Klarerstrasse shopping center, creating an immersive environment through paintings, collages with pages from Financial Times, inscriptions in English and Arabic, covered with yellow and red paint, applied to the walls and floor. El Sayed also stages live performances during the fair. This is a choreographed piece where she weaves her body in front of projected kaleidoscopic fragments of news footage, high fashion, and ads. The project is presented by 2 art galleries, Liman Maupin and Tadeusz Ropak. And I see Rachel Liman and Tadeusz Ropak in the audience. Number 6. Alvaro Barrington presents installation Come Home in Tropical Zone Market. It's inspired by his childhood memories of the Caribbean where he grew up. And number 7. Stephanie Camilang's work, Search for Life. It consists of a floral arrangement and textile sculptures crafted from traditional Filipino piña fabric and embroidered with butterflies. And that's my overview of Parcours. Good night, everybody. From Basel, I'm Jane Greaves.